This podcast contains paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, where I discuss how you can grow your business by the bootstraps. This applies to all entrepreneurs, from the person just starting up to the one that is already well established. My goal is to help you grow. I am your host, Isaiah O'Connor. Okay, so today's podcast is brought to you by Happy Scribe. What is Happy Scribe? Well, to keep it short today, I'm going to use their Happy Scribe in 3 points. You can transcribe your interviews and videos in minutes. You can create and burn subtitles onto videos for greater social media reach. And it's best for researchers, journalists, marketers, video editors that want to focus their time on producing content. And might I add, the reason I selected them and agreed to take them on as a sponsor is because I'm going to be using, once the kids get back into school and things calm down, I will be using to transcribe my podcast into the blog to get the blog up to speed. The great thing is when I used it, you can go through, you can edit it very easy. It has a very nice editor. You can kind of follow along and double check to make sure the words are right. You can, extract that to another file that you can work on. Works great. Then you can go back. For me, I can go back in, use that as the basis of my blog, reword it, edit it, and create a blog that's more suitable for reading, because a podcast transcription doesn't usually read as good as a blog reads done properly. So anyway, check them out, happyscribe.com. You use the link below. It helps us out, helps them out. Great thing. Now, when you do create content and you create bills or do accounting or do anything on your computer, and if your computer's online, and even if your computer's not online, you run the risk of losing your data or having your identity stolen or your computer hacked. So there's lots of different security threats out there that can cause problems. Now, with that, I'm going to give you a couple of short tips of what you can do to make sure that if something happens, you're not SOL with your computer because you've just lost everything. The first rule of computing is backup, backup, and backup. There you go. First rule 3 times, I don't know. Anyway, because I can't remember the guy's name, but computer scientists said to err is human, but to really foul things up requires a computer. In this day and age, it's even more so. So you got to make a backup. Now, how do you make a backup? Thankfully, we no longer live in the days of having to back up everything to floppy disk or CD drives, which was better, but still rough, or whatever. But you do need to make a backup. Now, depending on the stuff you're backing up, depends on the level of backup you need. Now, an easy way, of course, to make a backup is you can still back up most important data to a DVD or CD drive. Yeah, not as common. Can't find burnable CDs much anymore, but that's an old school way, but the medium is very stable. If it records right and you put it in a nice plastic container and store it, it can store for a very long time and it'll be just fine. And I'd only do this on very important documents, last wills and testaments, etc. You can back up things to a thumb drive, USB drive, whatever you want to call it. You're not going to get a lot of data on there, but again, for the most important stuff, you might want to do that. Now, the reason I'm talking about easily removable media to back up to, like a thumb drive, CD, DVD, these are backups that you want to make copies of and then put in a secure location away from your main workspace. If you work from home, more than an office, put it there. If you work in an office, leave it at home. somewhere where if something happens, there's a fire, something happens to the building, you get robbed, you don't lose everything. The most important stuff is somewhere else. Perhaps put it into a fire safe, perhaps a safety deposit box, what have you. You can also do this with an external hard drive. An external hard drive is exactly what it sounds like. It's a hard drive for your data that you can plug into your computer and just drag and drop and install. Most people listening to this podcast probably have heard of them. Those are nice. You can fit a lot of data on them. They're fairly portable. You can move them. You can put them into a safe, what have you. However, these days, what's in vogue is the cloud. Ooh. All the cloud is somebody else's hard drive. That's it. You put your data onto someone else's hard drive through the internet. That's the cloud. It's not floating there. It's just a hard drive. It's nothing too fancy. You just pay for it. Now, some people love it. Certain cloud drive systems are really pretty good, I guess. I don't know. Some cloud drive systems are not good, and some are just about downright scams. I can't remember which one, but one was absolutely horrific. And if I remember which one, I will warn you guys away from it. But do your research, because your data is very important. You don't want to just throw your data onto an unsecure server somewhere. You don't want it to where they're going to push you into paying big fees to get access. You want it to be able to work well, work just like saving a regular file, drag and drop, and or just automatic backups. If you're going to a cloud storage, do your research, dig deep, look at reviews, look at tech magazine reviews, look at tech people reviews, not everyday reviewers, but tech people. Gotta make sure that this is a good quality place because this is your data. It's important. You want to make sure it's a good cloud storage location. Now, great thing about cloud, it's automatically offsite. You can usually upload photos from your phone, from wherever you are, from your laptop, from your PC. You can multiple devices straight to the cloud device. Really easy, really quick, instant upload. It's very nice. The downsides of cloud devices are, A, it's online, more likely to be hacked because they won't likely try to pick just you out to hack, but they will try to hack the entire cloud server. And if they can get through the server, then they will steal all the data from everyone on the server. So more of a target for hacking because they're going to hack a large company first rather than trying to find a single person who has data. It's just more cost effective from a hacker's point of view. So bigger target, your data's offline, which is also an advantage. You can lose your data or you can pull your data off on a different computer in a different city, whatever. So, I mean, there are some big advantages to it. Don't get me wrong. But you can probably tell, I'm not a huge fan of cloud services. Plus, it's a monthly fee. Some fees are reasonable. Some are really high, $20, $30 a month sometimes. Yeah, they can get expensive, especially over time. Now, there is a third option between a standard hard drive, cloud storage. You can do a cloud hard drive. What is a cloud hard drive? It's a hard drive with a built-in internet connection. You set it up at your own house or at your own office, and you can save data straight to it. It's connected to the devices you choose. There's no one else sharing it, and it has most of the same features as a regular cloud storage device. Now, some of the disadvantages are, of course, physical location. If your cloud drive is in a building that goes up in flames, then you have a problem. If you can, get two, back up to two different places, two different locations, then you're set. But you have a lot more limited storage capacity. you can get multiple terabytes of data storage on a cloud drive, so it shouldn't be a problem. However, when you have a cloud service, you run out, their hard drive runs out, they just add more data to your plan, boom, you can add more. Quick and easy. So that's some of the disadvantages. One of the big advantages for me though, price. It's more expensive up front, but you pay one time and you're done. And you don't pay a subscription fee, you own it. It's yours. And I love saving money. I love saving my data. So one-time payment acts like a regular cloud drive, more limited space, but shouldn't usually be a problem with most data applications. Most businesses, your business files, your accounting files, family photos, whatnot, you should be okay. Now, if you're producing a lot of video content and you're producing terabytes of content, then yeah, this might not be a great option for you. But just to let you know, this is another option you don't usually hear about when people talk about storage. They talk about hard drives, they talk about clouds, but they don't talk about cloud hard drives. So that's just my thoughts on data backup. Now, one more thought, passwords. Of course, you should all know by now, you don't use password as your password. You don't use the username admin and the password is password. That's the quickest and easiest way to get hacked. So what makes a secure password? They talk about using letters and numbers, random, and random's great. But again, it's easier to hack random, but it's also harder to remember random passwords. The two best versions I've heard of creating a password that is very, very hard to near impossible to crack are these two things. One is you take a song you like a lot and you know the words very, very well. Then you take a verse from that song and then you do one of two things with it. One, you type the song words word for word in full in the password box and maybe adding in a number or capital letter or period somewhere within that. For example, the American National Anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, you can make your password, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light," and that would be your password, completely spelled out in full. And you can always go, "Oh, say can you see by dawn's early light, 1776, period." That will be an incredibly hard password to break, to brute force break and attack, because it's very long. You spelled out every single word. You can even put the word 1776 as in the letter 1, 7, numbers 1, 7, and then add the end in letters. 17 in numbers, 76 in letters, spelled out in full, and then add a period on there to make a unique password that will be darn near impossible to crack. Now, if you don't want to type that much, another thing to do would be do the same thing. You take a phrase or a song or a poem or a quote that you like and you know well, and you take the first letter of each word in it and use that as your password. For example, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light," you'd be O, so O, obviously, say, you take an S, can, C, U, Y, C, S, by, B, dawns, D, early, E, light, L. 1776, numbers, period. So your password is very short. It's really easy to remember because all you have to do is remember the first letter of each word. And if someone walks by and looks at it, it'll be a jumbled mess. It looks almost like a computer-generated password with letters and numbers mixed in. You can also add a capital letter at the beginning or in the middle or in the end, somewhere where you can remember to put a capital letter. And this also makes a very hard password to crack, very, very hard password to impossible to randomly guess, and it's very, very easy to remember. The only problem is remembering which password goes to which item. My email password, is it this one? Our Netflix password, which one did you use? My wife and I will start telling each other songs, and people will think we're just singing songs, and we're actually telling each other the passwords we used. So it's kind of a fun way to do it, and very, very secure. Anyway, just a little cybersecurity tips for running your business and your house. And it's so important. Make backups, use secure passwords. Don't use the same password for everything. Just standard security tips. And of course, avoid password admin, because that's just lazy and you're just begging for trouble. Anyway, see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Remember to get your free half-hour consultation by using our contact page and the links below. If you found value in this content, please give us a 5-star rating on whichever podcast platform you use. It is very helpful if you share this with your friends. If you'd like to directly support this podcast, I have a few donation links in the description, or you can check out the show sponsors. You have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, which is an Atheoz Business Solutions podcast. Our companion podcast, the Atheoz Business Podcast, which is hosted by Jason St. Clair. Our past episodes and related blogs, you can check out our website at www.atheoz.com, which is www.atheoz.com or atheoz.com. Remember, you can also check us out on the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast Facebook group, where you can interact with me and other people who are bootstrappers and entrepreneurs. The link is in the description. Come check us out. I would love to interact with you. And until next time, I'm your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor. See you later.